Everything that I do as an executive coach is to empower leaders just like you to communicate with stronger presence and impact. I've come to understand, after coaching executives in Fortune 500 organizations, NCAA athletes, and contestants in the Miss America and Miss USA pageants, that many of us have this deep desire to want to discover a bold new version of ourselves, but sometimes we just don't know where to start. Well, we know that credibility is the catalyst to influence. And so if we want to play bigger and lead better in our lives, we got to start by taking an honest look at where our credibility is today. And that requires us to look at three things: our image, our competence, and our character. Leadership is not about you, but it starts with you. I'm a big believer that if you ever want to be a great leader of other people, you have to first be a great leader of yourself. And mastering yourself requires that you get a vision for how you want to be perceived by people, and then hold yourself relentlessly accountable to that vision. I also believe that two of the most important questions that you are ever going to ask yourself in life are, who am I? And how do I want to be perceived by other people? Do you believe that the mindset and the presence that you show up with every day in every conversation impacts your ability to create trust, influence, and connection? Yeah, everyone always says yes. And the reason why that's so important is that your mindset and your presence is all about the energy that you show up with everywhere you go. And we as leaders have no greater obligation than to take responsibility for the energy that we show up with every day. That energy is impacting trust, culture, and our leadership legacy. And there are three key things that you can do to start taking responsibility for your energy. Number one is you've got to be able to manage your own intensity. Number two, keep your ego in check. And number three, put relationships before the end result. Ego is not the problem in business and relationships. It's our lack of awareness that we have an ego that's the problem. I define ego as any fear-based thought, because when we respond from a place of fear, it does one of two things. It pulls us into an extreme version of ourselves, and that either shows up in this over-the-top confidence, bravado, and arrogance, or it does the exact opposite, and we resort to self-doubt, limiting beliefs, and we keep getting in our own way. We as leaders never show up our best when we operate from an extreme version of ourselves. And you will know that you are doing that when you start to always just turn the spotlight on yourself. You start to become super critical and judgmental of yourself and everyone else around you. You believe that your truth is the only truth, and you stop being fully present for people. Over 65% of how we communicate is nonverbal, but most leaders have no clue what their body language is saying or how they're being perceived by other people. Now, I'm never going to be one of those body language experts that sits there and shows you how to critique and analyze everyone else's body language or how to decipher if someone's lying, because I believe great leadership is all about connection and focused on taking responsibility for your body language. And if we're so busy analyzing and critiquing what everyone else's body is doing or saying, then we don't hold the space to actually connect. One of the most important rules in body language is not about what you want it to mean, it is about perception. And there are 4 power zones on our body that, if you use them correctly, can help you be perceived as more powerful and confident, or empathetic and collaborative. And those look completely different. And great leaders know how to flex their style and meet people where they are. If we leaders really want to cultivate stronger trust, influence, employee engagement in the organizations that we work with, then we must have the courage to look at ourselves in the mirror, tell the truth about how we're really showing up, and then take intentional action to discover a bold new version of ourselves. We are all worth that choice. I'm a big believer in life that we do not tell people in life that we believe in them enough. So if no one tells you they believe in you, I believe in you. Go make your mark.